Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of StarSound Speaks. This is your host, Irlianna Samsara, episode 142. And we are talking about the new moon, not the new moon. What am I saying? Mercury shadow retrograde. Mistakes. Actually, Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow on the 14th of January. Well, it will be for 3 weeks. But today we're going to talk about the full moon. And the full moon is coming up January 17th. And I'm going to show you the chart here. Share my screen. Okay, Monday, January 17th and 6:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just adjust your schedule to where you live. This is a very powerful new moon. I keep saying new moon, sorry, full moon. For many reasons. One is that it is at 27 degrees of Cancer, and the Sun and Pluto are conjunct. And so they are, because it's a full moon, the Sun is always opposite the moon in a full moon, of course, but this time with the Sun conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, 27 degrees, very intense situation. Like I was saying in the 2022 forecast, bring puffs, those extra cushy tissues. We're going to need puffs if we are in our crinkle sound is my partner with 4 feet, but settling in. So thank you. So bring puffs. Yeah, this is full moons are always very, it can provide a lot of emotional tension and cathartic release. But this one's not only in Cancer, the moon is in its domicile in Cancer. So it's super sensitive, very psychic, super sensitive about awareness and environment and one's home and family and mother and children. So those topics anyway, but totally on steroids, especially with the Pluto opposition. So what is, and also if you have like the moon in Cancer, everyone be nice to people with moon in Cancer, especially within those degrees, 27 degrees. If you are a Cancer sun, if you were born between late June to late July, and you have the Sun in Cancer, this is going to be the full moon of your year. And so that means that everything that you started working on in your birthday year, last year, 2021, whatever you're working on, have been working on, comes to fruition at this time, right? So that's like the fruit is ready for harvest. So that's the story about the full moon. Now this one has a lot to do with, because it is in the sign of Cancer, it's a water sign, so emotions, vulnerability, intimacy. This is a very big thing right now, especially with Pluto there and the opposition. That is definitely bringing us opportunities to heal really deep levels, maybe subconscious levels of toxicity and patterns. Even with Pluto and Capricorn, toxic family structures, situations and relationships that have been, maybe sustained for too long, that are not healthy. That would be definitely at a time where things get revealed. It could be secrets that get revealed. Subconscious machinations could be at play. Pluto is also, it rules the word plutocracy, the rule by the wealthy, is from the word Pluto, right? So Pluto is, this god of the underworld, but it's about wealth, and the wealth of the earth. Capricorn is the wealth of the earth. And so Pluto and Capricorn, we are looking at materialism and the dismantling of this toxic materialist economic structures that we as a planet have been treading in for a long time. And this is, of course, a slow process that has been happening since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008. So it's nearing the end of its term, and I'll talk about the Pluto's ingress into Aquarius, coming up in the next few months. But in this particular one, we're just talking about this full moon. So this is one where women are certainly in the spotlight, women, families, and then the part of us that needs comfort, security, nurturing, all these topics. And then how does our government and society support or not support that? And if it's not being supported, where is the catharsis? What is the solution? What needs to change? What needs to be, what secrets or agreements among, the wealthy and the powerful that interfere with our ability to nurture ourselves? And I also want to say that it's not just the wealthy, powerful, like I'm externalizing. I know it sounds like that, but I'm not externalizing it, although there's certainly a reality level there that is there. But I would say it's an inner wealth check. So instead of an external force about, just the authorities, it's like this experience is showing us the ability to forge an identity and step into sovereignty that we are our own authorities, right? There is no outside authority that unless you really want to give your power away to that, but I think we've been doing that for far too long. And so this is the opportunity where things will really shine. What we've been working on since the beginning, since this new moon, earlier in the month, January 2nd, things coming to fruition. And then again, if you have the sun in Cancer, things coming to fruition from last June, July. And so, yeah, so there's that. And of course, with any full moon, it's very emotional, right? But when it's full moons in domicile, opposite Pluto, bring the puffs, okay? You don't want a red nose. You don't want a red nose. Also, I would say too, Cancer rules sleep. So naturally on a full moon, it's difficult to, when you see the moon light at night, and so it's easy to stay very tanked, in any sign, but especially this one. So if you can't sleep, I have a remedy for you. Hold on just a second, be right back. Pause this for a moment. I just okay, stop stepping on mommy's paper. Thank you. Can you just sit anywhere else? No, you have to step on the paper. It's a cat thing. Okay. So yes, I love you dearly, but okay. So sorry. Oh, what was I saying? Okay. Yes, with the full moon feelings and emotions come to a height. Mothers, fertility, pregnancy, children, home and family life. These are all very, very big topics, families and such. But in terms of being sleepless, if you find yourself not being able to fall asleep, yes, there's always, valerian root and chamomile tea, but sometimes like that, even that just doesn't cut it. And if it doesn't, I was reminded the other day of a really great remedy, which I remember having this years ago. I had a little tiny Moldavite stone. I don't know if you ever heard of Moldavite, but I'm going to show you. I pulled up a page on like Etsy or something. Let me see if I can find this thing. Hold on a second. What did I do with that thing? I gotta find that. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here is a bunch of stones. Well, actually, some of them can be very expensive, just saying, but then I found some cheap ones. So, hey, I'm the bargain hunter. So let me pull up this page here. And yes, oh, and pull up Smokey too. Come on, Smokey. Okay, Smokey. This is, okay. Wait, quick. All right, Smokey, wait, just to stop this share. Yes, Smokey making his debut. Hello, Smokey. Say hello. Hello. That's a sweet boy. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, back to the Moldavite. Let's see, share screen. Yeah, so Moldavite is a stone. It's the only stone crystal on Earth that is from extraterrestrial origin. They think it was from a meteorite. It was a meteorite impact. And I think most of the world's Moldavite is in like the Czech Republic, Moldavia, maybe that was named after Moldavite. But it's very beautiful mossy green stone, and you don't need a lot of it, a little teeny bit, like, hey, 934, maybe shipping is thrown in, I don't know. But it's certainly a great stone to have. And I tell you, that I would put that under my pillow. Again, you only need a little tiny piece. And man, that would just knock me out. Now, you know, hello, sorry, boss, I'm late for work. You know, I mean, it can really, I mean, I remember feeling like I was drugged. I was like, oh my God, I can barely wake up. But if you're really having trouble sleeping, especially with this full moon, go for it. That's my recommendation. All right. I would say too that, oh, I have to say one very powerful thing that happened moving forward. I just wanted to give a shout out. Well, I'm going to talk about, let me shelve that for a few minutes. What else to say about this full moon? It is Uranus the next day after the full moon. So the full moon will last a few days before, a few days after. So we'll feel this building through the weekend, peaking Monday, and then, you know, for the next like 24 hours or so after is like the, you know, the waning full moon. I will say that, by the way, if you ever want to sell anything, always sell on a full moon or near on the ingress, you know, the waxing full moon, because again, with things, people are emotional and it's easy to sell things. So just a little hint about that. But anyway, I want to say is that this is a really very interesting week. As I talked about in the previous episode, Uranus stationing direct in the sign of Taurus at 10 degrees 49 minutes. That's going to happen the day after the full moon. So there's definitely a lot of charge around this full moon with Uranus chiming in. Could be some big waves. On the same day that happens, of course, the lunar nodes are shifting signs where they've been in Gemini and Sag for the last almost 2 years, year and a half. And now they're going to shift into Taurus and Scorpio. So that's definitely about issues about the nature and return to nature, reconnecting in innovative new ways, going back to the earth, being futuristic, thinking about the future, about how our earth, how we want this to be, and our values changing and simplifying too. So that is going to be happening the day after the full moon. Uranus stations direct on the same day that the nodes shift. So this is, like I said earlier in the month, this is a big month, a lot of things going on. That could signal earth changes. Certainly with a full moon, you know, the tides are very high. It's a water sign. We could have, you know, volcanic eruptions with Pluto and Capricorn in opposition. There could be eruptions in financial markets, the finances and banking and such, the food supply. So we're seeing these are the various areas where we could see change. And again, in our own lives, it's about examining. Oh, there he is again. Oh no, please get off that. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put that over there. So this is, I know you're like looking for paper. Okay, do not step on these papers. Thank you. So you know how it is. It's always that one place in the room when there's paper, they land there. Okay, but I do love kitties. So you know, again, we're seeing that's mundane astrology, but personally, we're really examining the very structures of our reality and what is important to us and how we want to organize our life and how we want to structure and our transformation, our, you know, what breakthroughs do we need to have? What shadow work do we need to do to create sustainable, toxic-free relationships, and, you know, releasing ourselves from ones that aren't working, and so that we and they and everyone, or we just go on with our lives, we're renewed, we're reprogrammed, right? So that's the positive side. Once we go through the dark night of the soul with Pluto into that underworld, we regenerate and renew and resurrect and come out the other side. So this weekend could be really things that have been maybe boiling under the surface can really come to a head. We have another earth change aspect might be like geomagnetic storms that could also, I hate those things, right? The internet goes kablooey. Meanwhile, Mercury is retrograde. Oh, in Aquarius, which rules the internet and electronic equipment. Oh, crazy. Keep your sense of humor. Mercury's the trickster, so we have to kind of go with it. Anyway, Mars, I want to say that right after, later in the week, after in the waning of this full moon, let us pull up that screen once again. Here is the planet Mars, as you see, is in Sagittarius, and that Mars is making, is in a, it actually did pass that square with Neptune earlier in the week, but it is at 25 degrees, and then it'll go to 26 degrees, which is conjunct the galactic center. And that's like the truth-telling whistleblower point. That's the entrance to our Milky Way, the 26 degrees of Sagittarius. It's called the galactic center. So when Mars conjuncts that, there could be a real desire and a passion for truth and justice, right, within the sign of Sag. Reaching for the truth, setting goals, maybe cutting, well, here's a great example, cutting ties with, and I think about, cutting ties with wealth or privilege or entitlement, where we get to see these things. And where's the mundane example of that? Well, Prince Andrew, right? I remember I said last year, watch the end of 2021, the royal family will be back in the news. And of course, that's when Ghislaine Maxwell got convicted with the pedo rings with Jeffrey Epstein. And of course, we know that Prince Andrew, with those infamous pictures of his arm around the waist of who was then 17, the woman named Virginia. And so all of that came up, and then the feds coming after Prince Andrew and not letting him off the hook, that they're going to investigate this and they're not giving up. And so, and I remember, if you remember, I said, watch the middle of December to the middle of January, because you're going to see some really explosive things when Mars crosses those eclipse points. That's action. Things that have been brewing, action steps forward. Well, what happened today? What they were saying a few days ago, Palace insiders were saying, well, I think he's going to be stripped of his titles and be sent to live in exile. And sure enough, he got stripped of, the Queen took away his military patronages, all the entitlements, all that Jupiterian entitlement was stripped away. That was a South Node eclipse. That's like the fall from grace, the fall from power around wealth, privilege, like that. And so here it is, the exact time, right? Mars coming to that point, we look for it, there it is. Meanwhile, the last thing I want to say about this full moon is that Mercury in the sign of Aquarius, as you know, it just went retrograde, and it is Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So yes, we have to be patient, but we're reviewing our progress and our beliefs and our attitudes and our communications around building a better society, I would say, with that conjunction. And it is certainly a time, maybe some shocking news and revelations might come to the surface. People from our past always show up no matter what, with Mercury retrograde, Venus too, but you always see it. You see it more often because Mercury retrogrades 3 to 4 times a year. So people from your past just pop up, right? And it might pop up in a very unusual way with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So anyway, old chums from the science club in high school. I mean, I don't know, making this stuff up, but all possibilities exist. And so we're just, those are all signatures of part of these changes that are, coming in the light of the full moon. So let me stop that share there. And yeah, so just saying about Mercury and Aquarius, we could have some new ideas or new shift of beliefs around how we're progressing, alternate ideas, alternate, innovative, unique, brilliant, inventive ideas around many things, you know, science, technology, democracy, all those Aquarian things, humanitarian work. So this is giving us, again, where, depending on where that is in your chart, that would be the area that undergoes this review, where we step back and we think about our contracts, our relationships, the contracts we make. Mercury is about contracts, merchants, data, information, the logical mind, merchants, mercantilism, this, you know, this, you think of the stock exchange, everyone running, you know, busy like a train station where people are running to and fro. It's like all that frenetic activity. So we slow down and we go into this meditative, where Mercury moves in the direction of the moon, listen to me, in the direction of the sun. Hello, Mercury retrograde, messing with me, right? Will you just wait till I finish the podcast? Thank you. Anyway, so honestly, that's really all I wanted to say about the this full moon, very explosive, and then these changes coming after the full moon with this, with all of these lineups with Uranus going direct, and the what do you call it? Lots of puffs. Remember, sudden changes. Get your Moldavite out, and the nodes changing signs. So yeah, there's just a lot of direction, changes in direction here. But one more thing I want to say on a happy note. Okay, well, you know, the Prince Andrew thing is a very unfortunate thing. You know, karma is a beige. But here is this interesting, wonderful news. And I have to say, this has to do also with over the weekend. Remember, we had the magical window with Venus, the goddess, in the Cazimi, the magical Cazimi window with the sun. And that was in Saturn sign, Saturn ruling the government, society. So she had a parlay with the sun in this Saturnian, on this, the sun is in this Saturn's robe. And what happened? We get news that the first Black woman has appeared on our US currency. Yay, right? So Venus is about money, currency, with the government, right? Big shifts and changes that are addressing, this is our new society where everybody is represented. So let me show you this lovely photo, this lovely image. Here it is. There's Maya Angelou on the quarter. And so looking fabulous, Maya, I have to say, little strapless dress. And I have to, I just love how astrology is so tied to this, because look, here she is emerging. And this is when Venus went through the Cazimi, it goes, she went from evening star to morning star. So evening star is the more laid back, you know, yin version of Venus. But when she emerges with the morning sun, she's more badass, right? So it's yang energy. So here she is. It's like, here's the rays of the sun and she's emerging with her arms out, and there's the eagle, you know, it's like flying and soaring and forward movement. I just think that's so, it's so indicative of the whole Venus Cazimi thing. And of course, larger transits like Venus retrograde in Pluto in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. So there's all that complete regeneration of our currency in alignment with our more, you know, these values that have been long aborning, these values about honoring all peoples and abolishing white supremacy and entitlement and all that. So perfect example. Yay, go Maya, go, go, go. Anyway, more are coming. I can't wait for Harriet Tubman to appear in the $20 bill. That will be so fabulous. I know they've talked about that and they go, well, it's going to take a while. And it's like, no, dude, you know, just, it doesn't, you know, just go in, change the presses. It's like, how hard can that be? I think some people want to drag their feet with this, but sorry, Pluto and Capricorn, don't mess with that. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to make the debut. And so that'll be nice to see her and all these other lovely women on our currency. So that's all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. And remember, puffs, Moldavite, 2 remedies. Happy full moon in Cancer. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much. This is Irlianna Samsara, StarSound Speaks, StarSoundastrology.com. Thank you all for listening. Bye now.